Coco. Please, stop it, Coco. You can play Uncharted Dry Land, you won't get electrocuted, and you'll still be alive. Please.
I'm convinced she's just had enough.
Well, why do you think she went to the Road to Ruin?
She's been on it for a game and a half now.
Believe it or not, there is an actual canonical explanation for why Coco has suddenly appeared in the first two Crash games, when she wasn't playable, and in the first game did not exist yet.
I'm almost afraid to ask.
This tiki head seems to be following me. I'm scared. Anyway, these ruined levels, I mean, I guess they're kind of similar to the Temple Ruin levels from the first game. I mean, there are a couple of motifs that carry over. Also, those lizards, you can only attack them by sliding.
And by this point, you should be pretty accustomed to the moveset, so, you know, you throw something at them that they're not quite expecting, and they should be able to adapt to it.
Alright, so Road to Ruin, much like Air Crash, will require multiple trips. However, we'll get the secondary gem on this path. We will not be able to get the clear gem yet, because you need the secret exit for that. We cannot access that just yet. That is in a level in the 4th warp room. At some point, I will edit what I just said down into something coherent.
We fix it in post.
So that monkey there is kind of a riff on, if you remember the fat Potaroos from the first Crash, the ones that threw the toxic barrels. It's only in hindsight, and you know, being 25 years older than I was when I played this for the first time, that I'm noticing the very clever asset reuse, which really it's more about, like, I guess, movement and specific animations that are reused. It's pretty subtle. Anyway, we had to backtrack there a bit to get the crystal. As you know, I've demonstrated before, you don't need to get the crystal in order to finish the level, but you do need to get the crystal to make any progress.
They were pretty devious in this level. Just flamethrower timing.
That is the exact same monkey from the Native Fortress levels in the first Crash. Don't worry, we'll get the clear gem later. We can't right now. I don't remember off the top of my head if there's a way to get access to the Road to Ruin secret exit early in speedrunning in the original Crash 2. It's weird to call it the original when it's still a sequel.
The unmastered version.
There's also a special animation if you try to enter a level with the wrong character.
Oh, so the certain levels will force you to play Crash.
Yeah, that happens a lot more in Crash 3, where Coco has specific dedicated levels of her own. Anyway, this is another boulder level, but with a bit of a twist.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's a big old bear. He's gonna chase us. That bear absolutely scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. We're gonna be seeing footage later on of the PS1 version of the bear, and I cannot for the life of me remember why I was scared of it. You'll see why, because of how it looked originally. And he also has a dedicated animation. Aw, look at the sleepy bear. I also remember when I was recording this, for some reason I had a lot of really weird frame rate drops. I think I managed to fix those, but it was very strange. I'm not sure why.
It is an unusually large model for it to be rendering.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, so that bear fell into the chasm there. But I'm sure it's alive. Let's just jump down there with it. And
a cleverly hidden bonus area.
yes. And also we got the Elmer Fudd lab assistant.
Let's see. Henry Hatsworth lost weight.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, and these are multiple copies of him from the Puzzle Realm. This section of the level, I hated it when I was a kid because you have to navigate so many different obstacles, including another Elmer Fudd lab assistant who's continually firing bullets on basically the other side of the map. And this particular section is infamous in the original version of Crash 2. There are 2 boxes at the top here. They drop extra lives, and they are the only extra lives that don't despawn when you hit a checkpoint. So if you wanted to, you could sit here grinding infinite lives.
Oh.
Yeah, they fixed that particular exploit in the Sane Trilogy. Although it's not like you necessarily needed an out-of-the-way cheesing tactic for getting extra lives in this game.
Yeah. And you have how many now? 72, 73?
Soon to be 76. And I spliced 2 takes from this level together. You might have noticed the box that I missed. This is from the first take. There was a spring crate I missed. Oops. Although I redid this level and it actually went okay that time. But just pretend I got it off screen. I also completely forgot that this area had a mole rat section, because the way that platform is set up, you can just slide jump over there.
Yeah, that area is a touch bit devious.
Yeah, but when you're a 7-year-old playing this for the first time, it's easily one of the hardest things in the game. And here,
remember, it's rated E for everyone.
Actually, this game is old enough that it was rated K to A, the old equivalent of everyone.
Oh, wow!
Although, I seem to remember it had a greatest hits version that was rated E, because by that time, the ESRB had changed its system. I mean, E is basically just the kids to adults rating anyway, but with the easier to read. And one more. Oh no, wait, that's the next checkpoint. There's a gimmick that I almost spoiled, but anyway. Yeah, we have these wooden gates that you just spin attack them. You don't need to worry about picking up the Wumpa Fruit or anything. That's one thing. Crash Bandicoot 4 has dedicated gems to picking up a certain amount of Wumpa Fruit in the level, in addition to boxes. However, it at least does you the favor of automatically collecting Wumpa Fruit. Also now, it's bear versus bear. You can use the dash during this section. I wouldn't recommend it. You can also use the polar bear to destroy the electric gates. It is not possible to destroy them, at least on the Sane Trilogy. It's not possible to destroy them with just Crash alone. You have to do it with polar.
Oh, the little one fell down the hole too.
I don't know about that. I mean, let's go and check and see if he's okay. Oh, don't worry, he's fine.
Oh,
he's fine. The little polar is fine.
Oh, good.
Fun fact, Polar became something of a minor character of his own after this game. He's even one of the potential characters you can play as in Crash Team Racing.
And he hides warp rooms.
Yep. So this is one of 2 secret levels in the game. This is totally bare.
my boy. You are more than halfway there. But I'm sure you've noticed that things are getting harder. The last 10 crystals will be the hardest to gather, and our enemies will be sending their strongest forces to thwart you. I'll contact you again when you have completed the next warp room.
I see no reason not to trust this man. I have total confidence in him. I'm wearing my hashtag I believe in Cortex button right now, actually.
The only argument I have for that is death rays. Death rays.
Are you sure they're not health rays and you just didn't hear it properly?
I'm fairly certain, and I'd also like to point out if the death ray is large enough that you need to orbit it, it's large enough to worry about.
I mean, I guess for corporate purposes, he rebranded it to the Cortex Vortex. It sounds better. Anyway, getting back on track, this is following in the tradition of Crash 1, of having secret levels with part of the level obscured. They actually pulled the draw distance back considerably for the Sane Trilogy version, which means that it's now just stupidly hard instead of awful eye-gougingly hard. Yeah, unfortunately, this level, I'm not that familiar with it. I didn't play it that much as a kid. So, yeah, I was not able to get a clean take of this.
It's fine.
There is one other level that also plays with the darkness. It's a regular platforming level. And I won't go into details, but they have sort of mixed it up. They've replaced what used to be the bright Aku-Akus that would guide you. They've got a different mechanic for that instead. But that's much later in the LP. Also, don't jump down there. I don't know why they added extra geometry there for the Sane Trilogy. It looks like you're supposed to jump down there for a secret, but don't. It's part of the kill plane. You will die.
So you get to the end of the hardest level, and you jump off a cliff, and you're killed by your own hubris.
All because some level designer or artist really wanted to show off there. So you can still use the platform when you're in the secret warp room. But it counts as the very last warp room, so we have to go all the way up.
Oh. So, in other words, the tower is in the basement in this case.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is Tiny Tiger. Originally called Taz Tiger in the beta. This is another boss that was supposed to be in the first Crash game, but they couldn't make him work. So they shelved him for the sequel.
This is very quickly becoming Crash Bandicoot, the game that's so big it's actually 2 games.
Yeah. A lot of unused ideas. So for whatever reason, this particular boss, I don't know why, but I'm absolutely terrible at it. It's not necessarily any more complicated than any of the other bosses. It's just, I don't do well on this boss. Yeah, the idea is if you haven't caught on already, there are platforms that disappear and you have to trick Tiny into falling on those platforms.
Pretty standard 3D platformer.
Yeah, it is.
Type of
it is
boss.
very straightforward, and for absolutely no reason, I'm awful at it. So on the last one here, they pull a trick on you. All but one of the platforms will fall, and you have to very quickly jump over to the one that's safe.
Ooh.
Don't worry, Tiny will be back.
Oh, good.
We're gonna go to our bonus content. We're actually gonna see the PS1 version of Tiny, and the main reason for that is because I wanted to show off something that changed at the end. Crash will actually do the Crash dance at the end of boss fights, which is something they changed. And here is the PS1 version of Unbearable. And yeah, this is the version of the bear that terrified me as a youngster.
Oh my god.
I cannot agree as to whether he is frightening or adorable.
I mean, that face.
Just look at him go!
But that face, the mouth on it.
I don't know. Maybe these things just look more frightening when you're a kid.
Oh, he dead.
Yeah. He is very dead and very cute.
Yes.
And yeah, that's that is it for part 6. And yeah, we'll start off with the fourth warp room next time, which as of this recording I'm still working on because it has one of the most infamous levels quite possibly in the franchise, not just this game. If you've played this game, you know what I'm talking about. You know exactly the level and why the very specific areas make it terrible. But we'll get to that next time.
I'm looking forward to it because I'm going in completely uninformed on any of these levels. So I get to experience this through your lens for the first time.
Yeah, hopefully by the time this goes up, I will have long since finished recording not just this, but the rest of the LP. But as of right now, December 5th, 2021, I am still quivering in fear at the sight of this particular level.